Hi everyone, welcome to Future Ready Insights, the podcast where we explore the latest breakthroughs in technology, business strategies and artificial intelligence. I promise you today that this is a tariff-free zone. There's no mentions of that anywhere. Each episode we dive into the trends shaping tomorrow's workforce and uncover actionable advice to help you stay ahead in this rapidly changing world. So whether you're a business leader, a tech enthusiast, or just curious about what's coming next, we're here to guide you through the innovations, challenges and opportunities that define the future. Last week, I took a break from the podcast as I needed to renew my visa to study here in Spain. Sadly, not too much sunshine. Instead, it was torrential rain, but never mind. But if you just discovered us, please like this podcast or video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us. We're going to start with our top headlines of the week and finish with 4 actionable pieces of advice that you can use in your job or organization. So first up today, a story from Marketing Week. 80% of chief marketing officers are concerned about the AI skills gap. And this is a paywall article. So if you click on this in the link below, you won't be able to read the whole article, but the headline really kind of says it all, that it's a lack of AI expertise is emerging as a major skills gap over and above the knowledge of data, analytics and marketing tech. So it's just about getting involved with AI. And there is this big skills gap between people who are still yet to convinced or have serious concerns about using this technology. They might do something wrong or the big sort of fuss about, or it's too busy to sit down and learn it. This revolution that we're in right now is almost just like another rebirth of the internet. It isn't the same as that, but it just in terms of the scale of what we're talking about, it definitely is. So if you can imagine now, if you went to a job interview, and if somebody was to say, well, can you use the internet? And you said no, the question would be, what? People who have access to technology understand how to go to Amazon, how to go to one of the big websites, open an account and order something online, maybe email somebody, maybe text somebody. This is what AI is. It's the same kind of soft skills. We're not talking about that you have to go and program a new piece of code or a new piece of software. It's just about able to using AI with your ordinary job. So if you think about ChatGPT, that in terms of just asking it questions, asking it to help you write a blog, asking it for ideas about what you could do in your business or ideas to help you in your career, or even some of your own personal life goals, whether it's about whether it's about doing something more sort of spiritual or whatever it may well be that you want to do, that technology is there to help us. It really isn't here to replace us. A lot of talk, definitely even from political leaders, about reducing jobs, replacing people. But actually, really, this is down to us as the people about how we want to embrace and use this technology. The roadmap of AI, how we use it, it really is for us to tell the world about how we're going to use it. If we do stand by the wayside as a mass, as a large population, then other people will dictate it. So you've just got to get involved. And if you need help, there's so much help out there in terms of webinars, YouTube videos, people like me sort of talking about it all of the time, podcasts, newsletters, even just talking about to some of your friends. And there's paid courses out there. We have courses on our website. I'm not here to do you a sales pitch, but I'm just here to tell you that the technology is fantastic to use. It's just about understanding how we use it. And there's so many different options about not just creating text and just asking questions, but about generating images, generating videos. You can have it to create projects. So you can do time scheduled projects, time scheduled tasks. Now there's just so much it can do, but it's just not stopping. The technology is just moving and evolving almost on a daily basis. So that's why it's just good to start getting involved and understanding how you can use it and what you like about it, what you don't like about it, and let's just talk about it. It's a great thing. And that moves us on to our second story. This is about Shopify and its CEO saying that using AI effectively in Shopify is now a fundamental expectation. So these two stories link really well together, and they both come out this week. This story about Shopify was a leaked memo, and it's a bit of a shame that it really come out that way, because actually, if you read it, and the link to this is in the show notes, it's actually a really nice article, and it tells a bit of background about how the CEO is using technology, why we should be using it, not just about greed, not just about replacing us and for efficiency. It's about helping us do things in a better way, and also just to keep us at the forefront, or keep their organization at the forefront. It's about having a competitive edge. And at a time when there is so much talk about AI replacing jobs, there is this phrase going around at the moment. It's like, AI won't replace your jobs, but the fact that if you don't use the AI, then you will just get left behind. So you do have to get involved, but you don't have to be using it for every single second of the day, but just understanding how to leverage it. So it's no more than what we're doing right now with Google. But this story from Shopify, I really wanted to share it because I do believe this is actually how a lot of CEOs and leadership of large companies or even smaller organizations are thinking right now, and they're trying to understand it. And there is this big race now to see who've got these skills, who can help organizations move on and do things in a more cohesive way than they have done beforehand. So looking at different things they've never been able to do before. There's another great story that I'm going to be sharing that towards the end of the section, which is from Duolingo, and really gives a more of a clearer insight into how that's helped them. So stay tuned for that. Next story up, something I'm quite really excited about, is that AI for Good Summit in Geneva is just 90 days away. It's not the biggest headline of the week, I know that, but it is a great bit of positive news. And it's great because it is a feel-good, positive event. It does talk about some of the dangers of AI, but it also shows people what it can do. So you have less of people like me talking about it, and you're actually seeing demonstrations about how the technology is being used for good, the benefits it's already been bringing, and for things like treatment of cancer and for drought-resistant crops. It's been around, for quite a while, even though it feels like we're just talking about it today. But this event is free. You can go and sign up now to watch it when it comes live in just about 90 days' time. But it's also free to attend in Geneva. And I'm really excited because I'm going to be going this year. And I've been watching it for the last couple of years online, and I just came across it by mistake. I've really enjoyed tuning in and understanding more about the technology and some of the great things it can do, but also sort of understand some of the wider concerns and how we can help each other in society to get the best out of this technology, because it isn't all sewn up. People will tell you it's all sewn up and it's big danger ahead, and those definitely are concerned. But together as people, it's about how we use that technology, and we really do matter. We are the consumers, and if we decide to use things in a certain kind of way, that just tells and the larger organizations that they have to go with how we're using it, not the other way around. But as I say, do have a look at the event. Do go to the website and sign up there. I'll stick the link in below. So let me know if you're going or you're going to be watching online. I'll be mentioning it a little bit closer to the day, but I think it's a great one to really sign up for. Next up is the EU's announcement of a 20 billion euro investment in AI gigafactories. So this week, the EU revealed plans to build 5 new AI data centers in Europe. It first reported in The Guardian, and supposedly this is in a bid to catch up with the US and China. So without getting into the politics, because we're not doing politics today, I do think it's pretty much a good thing to do. So if you can imagine a country holding everybody else's data like to ransom, the whole of the world could potentially fall apart if the internet started getting interrupted by somebody controlling that. So I imagine this is not just about catching up, but this is also about protecting the interests of Europe and some of the countries that surround it. But there is a downside, and it's about the energy usage. And I've included a couple of stories below about this. Potentially, the actual locations have been agreed that these data centers are going to be built in the drought areas of Spain. So it's quite highly questionable. It does make you wonder if there are sort of better areas or better options for these AI data centers. And there's also another story that that Microsoft's actually pausing some AI data center projects. So quite some conflicting information this week all about this. We've got launches, we've got some pauses, and I think just some concern about sort of energy demands as well. So all quite thought-provoking stuff about sort of the growing use of AI. Next up is an interesting story, an interesting one from Duolingo, and it's from their CEO and co-founder Louis von Ahn. This is the story I was talking about a couple of minutes ago. So AI is making it easier for Duolingo to create more content faster. So it doesn't sound really particularly exciting as a headline, but when we start to have a look at the article and understand a bit more about how they've been using it, he tells us that he declined a project a few years ago. It was about a project called Duo Radio, a feature using cartoons to help people learn a language. This is what Duolingo is all about. If you've never heard of Duolingo, then definitely look it up if you're learning a language. But this Duo Radio project, it was projected to take years to develop, and that's why he declined to pursue the idea. But with the advent of AI coming around, he's now been able to create it in 2 months. That is just a really great example about the power of AI, not just about sort of turning projects around, but just how the power of that technology, shortening a project taking absolute years to develop into just a couple of months, and not on the same scales in any shape or form. But I know I've been using AI to sort of generate some educational videos for our own website, and I know I've never really had the budget to employ somebody and all the actors and do all the script and the storyboard. But the fact that I could spend maybe a day and a half to get a whole video done from start to finish, properly branded, script, everything, it's just phenomenal. And the cost like to do it is not more than maybe about sort of like $600 a year. So it helps like smaller organizations like us and helps people that never had the chance to use this type of technology or deliver these types of results, being able to do that for the very first time. I do understand that people may have been paid for some of these jobs, but for us in these certain circumstances, it probably would never have happened anyway. I mean, probably just done something second rate with PowerPoint, just as a standard PDF. Technology is moving on, and I see these opportunities are great things. And the other thing with this technology, that there are new jobs. This technology does need to be maintained. People do need to be trained. People need to be shown how to use it, how to get the best out of it, how to control it, how to monitor it, and also some of the engineering work that goes behind the scenes. So there are lots of new types of jobs, even though some of the other jobs that we kind of like know now or used to know might well be sort of dwindling away. Finally, a really interesting article here. Samsung's Gemini-powered Ballie home robot got launched this week from Samsung and Google, who've joined together to launch Ballie. It's a soccer ball-sized home robot, and it's been teased for many years at Samsung CES events, and it's got Gemini built in under the hood. And I actually found the CES 2020 video announcing this in my inbox. So clearly my email system needs like figuring out, because I've got 5 years worth of old emails. It's fascinating to see how that technology has grown in the last 5 years and how long it's taken to bring it to commercial market. But I'm interested to see, would you buy it? Is there really a big demand for this? It looks like a little bit gimmicky, but it does look a bit fun as well. If you like the podcast so far, please take a second to like and subscribe. It really, really helps us. And now, Insights for Business. This is the section we talk about real tips and guidance in business and tech areas for you to use in your role and organization. So business analysis, we'll start off with this first. So it's about using visual thinking to clarify complexity. So when analyzing a business problem or communicating a solution, words alone can definitely fall quite short. So that's where visual tools like process models, swim lane diagrams, and mind maps come in. If you don't know any of these, definitely go and Google them and have a look at some of these. But the idea is that these tools make complex ideas much easier to digest and help identify gaps, overlaps, or inefficiencies. Visuals speak louder than text. If you want clarity, and just draw it. Artificial intelligence up next. Validate AI outputs like you would a team member's work. AI, as we know, you've heard me talk about today, is fast and efficient, but it's definitely not flawless. It does make mistakes. Models can hallucinate, exaggerate, or misunderstand nuance. So treat its outputs like you would work from a new colleague. Review it, verify the facts, and apply your judgment. So if it's summarizing data or generating content, your oversight as a person ensures accuracy, fairness, and compliance. AI isn't your boss, it's your assistant. And this is what we have to remember. It's here to help us. And we wouldn't give a new task to Bob or Mary and then never go and check up and follow up on them. We wouldn't believe everything they might tell us on the first day. We would go like, we might check it or we might understand or just ask them some follow-up questions. And that's the same here than when we're working with these large language models. That's kind of all that we need to do. Don't take verbatim what it's going to give. Data protection, don't just inform, empower your customers. Under UK GDPR Articles 13 and 14, individuals have the right to be informed about how their data is used. But instead of hiding this in lengthy policies, what about just using plain language, layered privacy notices and icons to make data practices understandable? Transparency builds trust. So I've mentioned this quite a bit to a lot of people this week. When people know what you're doing with their data and why, they're more likely to engage with you in confidence. Definitely when it comes to things like marketing and sales, in videos, you'll see much more sort of transparency about, the data being collected, the purposes being collected, and also that helping people, if they don't want to receive anymore, show them how to unsubscribe or remove themselves. Don't kind of hide that there. It's something we shouldn't be worried about. It's better to start from a marketing sales point. It's better to talk to people who are interested than people who aren't interested. On to our next and last piece of advice, IT leadership. Leaders don't just set direction, clear the path. True leadership in IT isn't just about setting strategy. It's about removing the blockers. So whether it's outdated systems, poor communication, or overloaded teams, effective leaders spot friction points and fix them. If you're a leader or you want to get yourself into a leadership position, try to think of yourself as an enabler, not just a decision maker. The result of that is that a team will feel supported, heard, and ready to deliver. Again, you're not pulling the wool over people's eyes. You're just being helpful. You're being there, giving advice, show people, help them out, remove those blockers, like we're saying. If you can see an obstacle or challenge, whether it's about understanding or somebody might be a bit more difficult, try to coach them to how to overcome that, empower those people, and they'll feel really excited and the task might not be that exciting, but they will feel that it actually means something, the role, they've actually achieved something at the end of the day. How many times have we got to the end of the day and we've really felt like not really achieved much or we're not going anywhere? It just feels we're doing the same thing day to day. And that's why some of these things about if you're an employee, just trying to be able to do something a little bit more different or creative or just some help to move your project or your work along a bit more easily. Listen to people's problems and really to see what you can do to help them out. And even if it's just your co-worker, if you're not a manager or a leader, just see what you can do to help them out. Maybe be the saint for the day. I hope you found all this really helpful and just interesting and insightful. You might be interested to learn more about our accredited courses in these subjects on our website, ducodigitaltraining.com. So that's it for the podcast this week. If you enjoyed the episode, please like and subscribe. I really, really appreciate it. It does take just a few seconds and it helps us reach more people. Let me know in the comments about your thoughts about any of the headlines we've talked about today. You can even email me, featurereadyinsights@ducodigital.com. Many thanks and have a great week ahead.